What's up? Plitty Sports Gamer here, and I know I'm spamming a lot of videos lately, but I had to put a video out on this one. The Commanders game against the Cleveland Browns. Ron Rivera is an idiot, in my opinion. Taylor Heineke willed their team to win those games. If it wasn't for him, the Commanders wouldn't even be in the position they were in. I know he was stumbling lately. The tie to the Giants, lost to the Giants, and they were going to lose to the 49ers, so you can't blame that on Heineke. Even threw a couple of picks, but he didn't do that bad in that game. But stupid Ron Rivera, as I predicted, went to Carson Wentz as the quarterback against the Browns in a game that decided their season. Early in the season, if you could see, Carson Wentz sucked. The Commanders didn't do good at all. They beat the Jaguars only because Doug Peterson was trying to go for touchdowns and hitting field goals. Then all of a sudden, they lose to the Lions, lose to the Eagles, lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Titans. I know they're decent, tough teams, and they had a laugher against the Bears, 12-7. And Heineke came in. He beat the Packers. He beat the Colts. Barely lost to the Vikings. Beat the Eagles, giving them their first loss. Beat the Texans and Falcons like he should have. Then he tied the Giants, lost to the Giants, lost to the 49ers. He performed. He did pretty well. And he made awesome throws, especially against Green Bay. Like, making those completions on fourth down. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have won that game. But Ron Rivera went back to Carson Wentz, and he gets what he deserves. Carson Wentz absolutely sucked against the Browns. You see in the article, fans booed Carson Wentz and chanted for Taylor Heineke to no avail. Abundantly clear, Ron Rivera quarterback change backfired big time. It snowballed so badly, it turned into a loss that ended playoff chances. And I thought it was so laughable in the news conference when Ron Rivera didn't even know he was being eliminated from the playoffs. Huh? Eliminated? We were? How could that happen? Honestly, I think he's a decent coach. He was a Carolina coach, brought them to the playoffs, even though a couple of them were losing seasons, but brought them to the playoffs. He's a decent coach. But I guess sometimes he makes these boneheaded decisions. For some reason, he thought Wentz was good. And Wentz was good in spurts for Philly. He didn't do that great for Colts, and they got rid of him so fast. And Washington will probably get rid of him after this year, too, even though he's on the contract. They're probably going to cut him. He threw 3 interceptions. They did nothing in the first half. They scored 1 touchdown. They had 7-3. You would think Rivera would make the change, but no. And the second half was even worse than the first half. He went through 3 interceptions, and they lost in embarrassing fashion to the Cleveland Browns. Like, in my picks, I got 3 picks wrong. Not happy, but who would have thought that the Cleveland Browns would go into Washington and beat the Commanders? I didn't think so. I didn't think the Saints would go in and beat Philly at Philly. And the other one was Baltimore against Pittsburgh, losing to Pittsburgh. And that tells you what my video, I said Tomlin is one of the all-time great coaches, and he's proven it. Getting that win, even though Baltimore with Huntley was not good at all. Here's the quote, "We can be eliminated," he asked, and if it happens, it'll be disappointing. Yes, it was disappointing to say the least. He said, "I have high expectations for myself and his team. We underperformed." This is from Wentz, sorry. "I did myself as well." He blames the team first. That's Carson Wentz. He doesn't blame himself. He thinks he's the best, but he's not. He might have his spurts, but then he gets injured. He's not that good, and who knows? Who knows if a team's going to take a flyer on him next year? If I was that team's GM, I would stay away from Carson Wentz. He's not a good locker room presence. He's not that great of a quarterback, and it proved it this year with Washington. The offense gained 260 yards, 96 on Washington's only touchdown drive. So the other one is like, it's embarrassing. The way he performed in this game, the fans were booing, chanting for Heineke. Wentz missed open receivers, lobbed the ball into the hands of Cleveland defender. He goes, I tried to be aggressive, tried to force a couple of throws early. Obviously, kind of put us in a hole. Duh. Yes, I put you in a hole. Then the rest of the way, it just didn't make enough plays. Personally, as a team, he says, not him. Oh, he doesn't think he lost the game, which he did. He lost the game. And the fans chanting, Heineke, 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 did not get their wish. I do not know why Rivera didn't make the change in that game. The team was doing nothing. Maybe he could have provided a spark in the third and fourth quarters. And maybe they could have pulled it out. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if Rivera gets fired. There's an article here. Cowboys at Commanders. Dumb Rivera getting fired? ? Facing the Cowboys next week. He might start like the third quarterback because it's a meaningless game for them. But not for Dallas, but it is for them. There's a tweet from Wilbon. I love Ron Rivera. He played for my favorite team ever, the 85 Bears. He's a worthy man and head coach, but starting Carson Wentz today and everything on the line for Washington was about as dumb a decision as a coach can make. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. So I just wanted to give this quick video saying what a dumb move Ron Rivera made starting Carson Wentz in the biggest game of the year. Let me know if you agree. Please comment, subscribe, and like. Thanks. See ya.